Whale, your regular fix for movies and mayhem.
Keep it all nasty and brutal.
James is looking away there, but we just did the countdown, so we are now live. Welcome to episode 26 of Rage Whale.
Rage Whale.
Rage Whale.
M. Night Rage Whale.
And James is now a very old man.
Got a bus pass and slippers.
Technically. So, this is a special episode. I can't remember which episode it was now. Can you remember when we had that young man on?
18.
What had we watched?
18.
Wow.
Episode 18.
We'd watched, it was
Any other advances on 18?
On the beach, in the restaurant. What was it?
Roadhouse.
What did we just all watch? Was it June?
Episode 18. Was it in June? Kev, we're just barely in May.
June.
Oh, June.
You know what? When I do the audio thing for when we were talking about June, I had to change every time I said June from June to June.
It had a date, didn't it? Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, it was episode 18, Gareth was on.
Wow, dude. Great.
Yeah, you're right. How do you remember that?
Wait, was actually? I completely guessed that with sheer confidence.
You're so confident. No, I've got it here.
Mate, now that you've turned 40, you kind of got that telekinesis kind of thing going on.
That was a genuine guess with like ultimate confidence.
Wow. I've got all the episodes written down. I just didn't write the word Gareth.
I've got nothing to look at that on. My phone is
James,
here.
It's so true, though. As you get older, you become wiser, man, and you are proof of that. And this is physical, recorded proof.
It's just a lucky guess.
Yeah, because I've written down Jake Gyllenhaal,
man.
The thing, I forgot to write down the word Gareth, because we did the Gareth episode. Then the second one we did was the first Omen and the Bane impressions. And that's when Gareth jumped on for a few minutes.
Again, didn't he? Like an irritating neighbour.
Digital speaker. Yeah.
Gareth Gyllenhaal.
He came back like COVID.
Well,
Gareth
okay, so
Gyllenhaal.
the intros lasted too long. 2 minutes in, hadn't actually said what we're doing this episode, but this is a different style of an episode where we've got a gentleman called Maxwell King, or Max King, who is a horror reviewer. He's got a really cool YouTube channel where he talks about new movies, old movies, classic movies, all sorts of different things about horror, and that is his vibe. So we've brought him on here to talk about the new Disney films. So we're going to invite him on in a second. But have you guys got anything particular you want to ask someone who's really into the horror?
No. You just made it sound like we're going to talk about Ratatouille and like 1001 Dalmatians. The way you went Disney films. Maybe that was on purpose. I don't know.
No, I've got nothing to ask him.
That's called a joke.
Oh, okay, cool, nice. Sorry, I didn't mean to shit on your joke.
We're definitely going to talk Disney and everything else. So I've messaged them now, so he'll have the email.
Clickety click.
Got another horror special guest, another beast in the room. It's the Gruffalo.
Oh, you're going to bring out some mouthwash.
Can you just have Gruffalo out? Should we all get out the shot? Just have Gruffalo till he comes on.
That's quite creepy. Yeah.
It's a shame it's in a book.
No, keep it there. I've sent him the link. He's seen it. So it should be any second now. So we'll prank him.
Just Kevin directing the Gruffalo.
So whenever we see a box move on that screen, everyone move completely out of the way. And James, can you do like a special voice for him and go, hello?
You do the voice.
Why did you do the voice?
Because you'll move the head in time with the voice.
Yeah, but you know the guy. It's really difficult. I'm kind of like contorting myself.
Yeah, your mouth still works.
Okay, fine.
Don't give me stupid excuses like that. Right, so he's definitely got the link.
Can the Gruffalo turn a little bit more towards us?
I'm getting such bad cramp at the moment.
Mate, that's creepy. That's great. That's really great.
Nice. 1 second. Right, relax for a second. He says he hasn't received it.
Oh, God. Look, it's like in a book, so I can't even like...
Oh, right. It's on a book.
Yeah, you do the pages and it comes up, everything.
Oh, that's genius. I thought you were bouncing
it. To do like puppeteering for a book.
Yeah, that is, dude. I did wonder why you had just the Gruffalo as a puppet, but, you know.
No, Reef wanted to read it the other night.
She's killing it, though, isn't she? The writer.
What? The Gruffalo? Julia
it's a book,
Donaldson, yeah,
right?
she's amazing. And Axel
Yeah.
Schiffler. They write like all
Yeah,
the good stuff.
and she did The Snail and the Whale as well, which is absolutely mind
Epic
blowing.
movie.
This is perfect for a horror genre. But yeah, they're good. They're really good books, man. They're really good children's books. Oh, that was a knock. A physical knock. No.
Wait, he's got like a poltergeist or something.
Yeah. That'd be cool if we just have things like, if I just do that, like, whoa, like, what would that happen? Like, just weird things like paranormal activity on Rage Whale.
You should do that randomly through the show.
Yeah, don't tell us.
Whoa,
Do
there's
that.
no one
That'd
else
be
in this,
so funny.
there's
Plus-
no one else in this room with me, Max. Like, what? Just
When we do the socials as well, it trims the.
guys, and it's only hats. Oh, it's a hat poltergeist.
I like the way we're setting up the jokes for the show whilst people are
Just
actually
like-
listening.
No.
How many hats have you got there?
I got a few different hats.
If you had a top hat, that'd be amazing.
That would be brilliant.
It comes
actually.
flying
That would
across
be
the
really-
screen.
Maybe like a piece of Hoover, or actually, look, I've got loads of caps on
Can
the
you
door.
get your partners to come and kick the door open at some point?
I've got I've got all these
Just
different
get-
caps.
Loads of props, loads of hats, and just random occasions just lob them through and then act like nothing happened. Just be like that, and then just carry
Yeah.
on talking. Like do it
Yeah,
mid sentence.
every now and then, just a different hat will just what? Just different hats. Green one, yeah, perfect. We're good, guys. We're good. You know, I'm going to end
I'm
up forgetting to
sweating.
do this prank, right?
We're putting a lot
You
of
are.
effort in for very little payout.
I know.
I feel
I know.
bad for anyone that's like listening and not watching right now.
This was my hat trick. Hey, sorry.
Hey, that was not good.
Wah, wah, wah.
So, guys, I think we should probably just talk about something horrific while we're not like horrific, but like
Think about, I
horror.
don't know, 9/11.
Well, no, but I mean like horror-ific. You know, like horror. This is horror.
Ah. Well, you got gin.
Yeah, man, and it is the opposite of horror. It's wonderful. It's so wonderful.
I'm just got random stuff out of my room. I do a show and tell.
Oh, he's got it. He's got it. He's
Wait,
got it.
before you brought on the Gruffalo, I thought you were going to bring out mouthwash. Okay.
I don't know how long it'll take him for to press it and come on.
Oh
But
God, my
Do
spine.
you know what though, James? You need to turn it slowly, man. Like the creepy things, like "Hello, Max."
yeah, like he's talking into the mic.
What's that? Hello, Maxwell.
Yeah, because Maxwell sounds quite posh, doesn't he? Go,
Yeah.
hello, Maxwell, Sir King.
And then say "Welcome to Rage Whale."
It's painful.
It's painful for us too.
If someone walks in here now, they think there was something wrong with me.
Well, not wrong
Well,
either.
Normal Wednesday. It's just a
Just
normal
laying down
Wednesday.
on the bed with a Gruffalo book and a pile of. I've got
I've got a child, I promise.
my phone is piled on top of a VR headset, a drone,
No.
a box for another bit. Oh,
Boom!
missed it. All that set up. I lost it.
You've lost your bottle.
Oh,
All that
man,
set up.
we had a great
Yes.
thing for you, but
James ruined our little.
You fucked it up. We were going to start with the Gruffalo, just chatting. But then
Oh,
Kev started
that sounds
talking and I
cool.
got distracted. Well,
So, is it Max or Maxwell? What do you prefer?
Max is fine. I've been called a lot worse. So,
Good stuff. Good stuff. Whereabouts are you in the world, by the way? I know where you are roughly, but
exact location, please.
to tell the audience to like.
the exact address. Ireland. Northern.
Ah,
nice.
Very specific. I'm in England, northwest of.
Nice.
That's not that far from here, is it?
Sorry to interrupt the show. Just a little reminder to say, check out our social media handles and follow us on Instagram and TikTok if you're not already. If you enjoy this podcast, why not share it with friends? And better yet, rate the show. Thanks for your time. Now, let's get back to the mayhem.
No, a lot of my friends live I'm like in Chester. A lot of my friends like near Liverpool, and those sort of areas, they're always going over to Ireland because it's just a nice little trip over, isn't it?
Ah, it's pretty handy,
Do
yeah.
do you come over this way very often, or not
Sometimes,
really?
yeah, I would go to, well, not that particular area, but I'll go to like Blackpool or something. Or I haven't been in a while though.
All the way over for Blackpool? That's never.
Is that a Jason mask behind you?
Yeah, yeah, it is. Yeah.
Nice.
Nice.
I can't see a Jason mask. How are you seeing a Jason mask?
Well, are these things on your head called eyes? And you look.
No, but that's crazy. I agree, Kevin.
Why
I
have you got a
can't.
different view to me. I've got Max is cropped in there. I can't see anything above him.
Since
Sucks
James
for
has
you.
turned 40, he's got superpowers. So it's quite profound.
Yeah. So yeah, thanks, Max, for popping on. That's cool of you to get involved. Thank you for your nice comments and stuff like that. So
Okay.
just so you didn't know, just so you didn't think we're like tricking you, you're on now. So this is part of it.
It's all real. It's all happening.
So it's a bit weird because we don't really normally have guests. We've had a guest on before, but it was someone we knew pretty well. So, like we said on the chat and stuff like that, it's just kind of open to discussion, really, and like especially because obviously you're into like all the horrors and everything. So we thought we'd kind of specialize in that. Is there anything you want to bring up first? Like anything you've seen recently that you think's particularly noteworthy or anything?
Movie-wise, or just in general?
In general.
Anything. James is watching a few series at the moment that he likes, but
Yeah, I haven't really had time to sit and watch really like TV series or anything like just movies. If I'm not doing that, I'm recording. If I'm not recording, I'm usually working. So I
right,
find
okay.
it's a little difficult to commit to a series and sit through the whole thing, and I can forget one episode. That's probably it'll be like one episode per month.
Oh.
That's going to be a long season.
A very long
Yeah, I
series.
just rinsed my way through, got my way through, can't remember what it's called now. That one on
Slasher.
Slasher on Netflix.
Actually, I've heard really good things about it. How are you
Really
finding
good,
it?
yeah. It's basically a take on American Horror Story. Every series is a completely different story. They don't use the same actors, but it is like series by series. It's like a 4 to 7 part each thing, but they are quite sort of slasher horror movies. They're very good. But because they're like over a longer space of time, you get a lot more like character build. Whereas in like traditional movie, you don't get much character build before people start getting locked off. With this one, you've got a few episodes to come in, but in there it's like bam straight away. But graphic wise, as far as like the gore goes, it's definitely up there with some of the good stuff. It seems to have shied away from horror recently. The sort of gore and the graphic, it's gone a bit more psychological and paranormal these days.
I agree.
Yeah, it's good to have a bit of violence in there, isn't it?
Yeah, like why
I
not
mean,
cut someone's head off?
What was the most? What? Go on, you go, Max. We might cut each other off, but don't worry. We'll pause and let you speak.
What was the question again?
And there wasn't. We're just talking about like violent stuff and things like that. I thought you had a comment. No.
No, I mean, if I did, it's gone now.
I think we were just saying about like there's not a lot of gore and graphic stuff in TV and film anymore. It's all like psychological or left to the imagination in it. Like they're like, oh, this bad thing really happened, but you don't actually physically see it. It's kind of left to you to. It's like they've shied away from the blood.
Yeah, sometimes those are the best, though. Sometimes you don't want the slasher. Sometimes you want. I think some of the scariest films out there are truly the ones that don't show you the bad guy, that leave you with that your brain, like your Blair Witch, your Paranormal Activity, your things like that. I'm not really into the ghost stuff that much, but Paranormal Activity was
Crazy. Somebody put a hat at me in the small room I'm in. All of
you
my
missed that. James Drew did his little thing.
I know what he did.
Yeah, another one. But going back to slashers, I watched Terrifier and Terrifier 2 consecutively this week. I assume everyone's seen this.
Yeah.
What's your take on that, Max? What do you think of Terrifier?
I thought it was pretty good. I like as you were saying that the gore factor, I'm glad that they're like bringing it in. I'm glad it's more practical effects. It's not just CGI'd like everything is today,
Yeah.
and which I admire that, because like you don't often see it anymore. It's either
So-
found footage or something, but I'm glad they're bringing that style of horror back.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty gruesome, like the bedroom scene where the mum walks in and he's like, just
Oh,
it's
fucking
it's like,
away.
wow, that is a lot to deal with. Like
That was one of my favourite scenes of the both the
when I saw
films.
that, I was like, what am I watching at this point? And
That's
because it's practical and everything's like moving and that, it's like
Yeah.
CGI can be a bit,
Yes. Did you see that, Drew?
No, I was going to say that's probably a better thing for a mum to walk in on, though.
What?
No, wait,
Then-
no, wait, no, you.
No, you've misunderstood what he said.
Oh, right. Oh, okay.
Thing for mum to walk in. Mum walks into a room,
Yeah.
and Art the clown has ripped this woman apart. He's scissored her head off. Her brain is exposed. He's slashed her legs to bits. He grabs her arm, and like you do with a chicken, he just bends it the wrong way, pops it, and just does that for ages until the arm comes off.
Wow.
And then she's stuck on a bed, and she's just. It looks like a Cannibal Corpse album cover.
Jesus.
She's just sat there looking dead, and the mum walks in on Art the Clown, just stabbing her for a laugh,
Jesus.
giggling to himself. And she's like, terror. And then all of a sudden, the dead woman on the bed, she goes, she's still alive.
Drew,
She's
meanwhile,
still
Drew's like, yeah, I can't think of a better thing for a parent to walk in on.
Typical Friday night, right?
It's like, well, that's just me trying to eat a KFC. No.
But no, it's very clever
I
how
get
they
it.
did it. And that is it. Damien Leone, the
Yeah,
director.
yeah.
I don't know what he's done before, but it was up there with like some pretty bold stuff. I think the last bold film like that I saw was probably, I can never remember the guy's name. English director with the cowboy hat, did Human Centipede 2. The black and white one was unbelievably graphic. Like, and black and white as well made it worse. There was a reason why they did it in black and white, and I can't remember why. About the guy that obsesses about the first film, and it's just like some of the stuff is horrific. And the first one they say is 100% medically accurate. Yeah, what's his name?
Tom Six.
That's it.
is
Yeah,
the
it's probably not his
director
real name.
and writer.
The second one is basically this is 100% medically inaccurate, and it's just the third one is pure comedy. But the second one is just like there's like, I think it's 6 or 7 minutes that are banned still, but you can find it, and it's like, oh god, like someone needs to keep an eye on these people that are directing this stuff because like they're so not modern.
Plus, with Terrifier, I thought Terrifier was not a single scene was scary because it's so over the top. It's basic, but I back the fact that it's an indie film, and people can criticize it, but I think the fact that it's an indie film and they're pushing boundaries and doing what they did in the 80s, but to an extreme, I think is brilliant. And like I said it before, but Art the Clown is going to be this generation's Michael Myers or
Freddy
Jason
Krueger, I'd
Bourne.
say.
Or Pennywise.
Yeah. Well, it does steal a lot from. Terrifier 2 does steal a lot from Nightmare on Elm Street because the first one was like a video nasty, and then the second one was a bit like dreamy, Freddy Krueger-y.
Johnny Depp's first ever film as well.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
But yeah, it's been a while since I've seen a practical effects one that's actually made me think. Like a public domain film that you're like, like it's on Amazon and stuff. Like you don't get things like a Serbian film's not on Netflix, is it? Like it's like you're not going to be watching that. But this you can just happily go and buy for 99p. There's a third one coming out set around Christmas, which is a bit weird.
Yeah, I saw the trailer for it. Yeah.
But Art the Clown has been in other movies.
So, yeah, Max. So, what was I going to say there?
Can I just quickly jump in and just say,
Yeah.
talking of blood and practical to CGI, I thought it was fascinating that they decided to use on such a high-profile film as Joker, the Joaquin Phoenix. It's all CGI blood.
Is it?
Really?
I still haven't
Do
seen
you know
it.
that? Yeah.
CGI? Why? Where?
It's
Why?
That's what I'm saying. That's how good it is. It's CGI blood when the guys get shot on the train. Is CGI blood when he smashes the guy's head against the wall? Is CGI blood when he gets punched by the guy in the toilet? It's all CGI blood.
Really?
The only
Yeah.
reason I imagine they do that is to save takes, because if they cock it up in the first take, they have to change the entire costume and then do it again, don't they?
Yeah, and blood's
Okay.
getting a bit more expensive because what was that film you were talking about? Abigail. You were saying they
corn
had to
syrup
get new
on it and
blood
stuff.
shipped to the island because they ran out of blood on set or something.
Yeah, mate.
Wow.
I think it was filmed in Ireland. Abigail. They ran out. Ireland ran out of blood. They had to ship blood into Ireland because they were filming Abigail in Ireland.
I think
Have
they're
you,
taking
have
a
you,
run out of blood.
you not seen it?
No. I do want to see it
it's-
though, but everyone's been warning me, don't watch the trailer. It gives too much away.
Oh
Or
yeah,
something.
massively. But it's funny. It's not like a serious horror film. It's just violent horror with a bit of comedy. But when they I actually won't tell you this, but no, I won't
People
tell you.
explode
You
like
blood.
balloons. You said people explode like balloons.
They don't. It doesn't go. It's
Do you know what I watched recently with the greatest CGI in the history of any CGI was when the vampires explode in the original Blade. It's like a PlayStation
Oh,
1
yeah.
game. It's that bad
It's
in it.
perfect.
Like Stephen Dorff goes like all bubbly in that, and his
I love
eyes
it.
start moving, and it goes. But no one's covered in blood. Blade's completely clean, doesn't get a speck of blood on him.
Yeah.
Like he popped up an umbrella. It was like, whoop.
Right.
That was in
Brilliant.
'95 as well. Like by
That
some
film is
fake
so
blood.
good. It's aged brilliantly now, and it's
Well,
full.
Blade
Really,
was not-
yeah. It's really well.
Jesus Christ. Right. So let's ask you a few questions. If you've got any questions for us, let us know and then give us a shout. But I mean, it sounds very generic, but it's I think it's interesting to ask someone who what their favorite horror film is, because it's not. It sounds generic, but your answer, you've got so many different genres of horror. Like, are you? What genre are you into before you talk about your favorite film? Because I feel you might have a favorite film that's the slasher and a favorite film that's the psychological or whatever. So over to you, Max. What you into? What's your big things?
Well, I think genre-wise, I would like anthology movies. You know, like them, like movies that have like say 3 different like tales in one movie, and
that's cool.
and that which relates to my favorite movie ever. Which it's one of the movies literally everyone I've asked growing up has never heard of it. They say, "What is that? Did you dream it?" It was Stephen King movie, Cat's Eye. Anyone's heard of it?
Hi,
Wow. No.
See,
that's your favorite.
no one hears of it.
A
I'm looking
cat's
at-
eyeball. A cat's eye.
Cat's
Yeah,
Eye
it's
with
great.
Drew Barrymore,
Yeah,
and James Woods.
Love James Woods.
James Woods off Family Guy. James Woods High School. That James
yeah.
Woods.
The guy who's the priest in Scary Movie 2.
That
Love that guy.
James Woods.
Oh,
James.
he's in a brilliant vampire
Drew
film.
Barrymore must have been very young in that.
I think it was a
Oh,
first
Max,
movie
you've
when she
seen
was a
Wow.
kid.
85.
Have you seen the vampire film that James Woods is in? That is fucking brilliant. I think it's called The Vampires.
I'm sorry, Adam. I didn't know who James Woods was until I saw Family Guy.
Oh yeah, because he plays himself in the Family Guy.
Right,
Yeah,
doesn't
he's
he?
really
So it's
annoying.
Family Guy makes James Woods famous, not James Woods making himself
I
famous.
tell you what, Max, I've definitely seen that poster before, but I don't think I've seen the film. Why is there a little goblin?
Oh, that's it's basically the movie is about a cat. The cat's kind of the main character in it. The whole purpose of I know it sounds, but Cat's
No,
Eye.
it does sound mental, but
We like mental.
It is too simple, yeah.
The first picture that come up was someone on Reddit's put Stephen King holding a cat. Look at that picture. just Stephen King with a cat.
It's not doing him any justice, does it?
Max, is the sequel called Dog's Paw?
Oh, Drew.
I wish. I'd watch it.
Yeah.
does it have a sequel, or is it one-off?
No, it's a one and done. It's basically about it's a cat witnessing three different horror tales. And they're all like horror ones. The first two was written by Stephen King, but the third one was written specifically for the movie, and that's the one with the little goblin thing you showed me. It's like a little troll hiding in the wall, and he basically comes out at night for Drew Barrymore when she's a kid and she's asleep to steal her breath while she's sleeping. It's basically that.
So is the cat really good as an actor? Like, how did they get the cat to act so well in that film?
I have no idea, but
He's just got Drew Barrymore dragging it around.
Yeah.
Apparently, Drew, the cat actually grew up. The cat was a child actor, and it did later films, such it was played Simba in The Lion King.
Cat
Nice.
Hat
Nice.
was another one.
Nice.
If you want to watch that movie, by the way, it's on Studio Canal on Amazon Prime, where you can get a 7-day free trial. So add that to the Shudder list.
There you go.
All right. So you really think that's a proper good movie? You're not just trying to troll us or anything, like, no pun intended, because there's a troll in it, but that's a good film. You think that's a good film, right?
Does the cat survive? Is it save the cat, or is there like? Does the cat?
We don't want to spoil the ending.
Oh, yeah, no spoilers. No spoilers. Okay, fair enough.
Go on the Studio Canal app on Prime and look at some of the films. They've got films like They Live, Prince of Darkness, The Fog, Escape from New York, Color Space, Clown, which is where that guy puts a clown costume on and can't get
that
it
looks
off.
really creepy with the. Yeah,
There's some really good movies on there. Chernobyl Diaries.
So what's some of your other favorites, Max? Like classics or even something brand new? Like what's the things that you think is like the peak horror film in certain genres?
Well, I'm gonna go for the stereotypical answer, like Halloween, the original. Not two. I think two's really underrated. The original second one, not the Rob Zombie.
Yeah.
But again, as you were saying earlier, like a movie that has more mystery about it, I think is scarier. Like if you don't know anything about the killer, you don't know his origins, that makes it scarier because there's no motive, and that makes more terror. So the original Halloween had that perfectly. Even the first Nightmare on Elm Street had that because you had no idea who Freddy was. He knew he was a guy who was killed by the parents, but there was no real proper like reason why. There was just like the odd hint. And
generally, the first Nightmare on Elm Street is like probably one of the best horror films, full stop, because it's got so much going on there, and it's got the practical effects we're talking about. The extreme blood pushing Johnny Depp into the ceiling from the
I can't think of a film before that was that gory or graphic. Maybe Hellraiser around the same time, but not to the same levels.
When I was young, horror films didn't bother me, but one scene that stuck with me in Nightmare on Elm Street wasn't even the worst scene, but it was the scene where you've got the body bag. I think it's of Johnny Depp in the school hallway, and she comes out because she's freaked out. And she comes into the hallway and looks around, and there's a body bag, and then all of a sudden the legs go up on their own, and it gets dragged away by nothing. And that scene stayed with me for years. I
remember they had like the kind of taglines that they'd say 1, 2, Freddy's coming for you, 3, 4, lock the door, 5, 6, get out the crucifix, 7, 8, stay up late or something.
Yeah, probably was right. Yeah, I think I was right. Fair play.
That's all right, considering I haven't seen the film, but I just remember,
That's it. You didn't end it, Drew. You lost out.
9, 10, never sleep again.
I'm not making up, am I? They did make an origin story where they were chasing the guy into the building. They lit the building on fire.
Yeah, that was
Pedo or something. Yeah,
that was the remake.
What did you think of them rebooting Halloween with Jamie Lee Curtis and all the original cast? And Halloween, was it Halloween Ends? Halloween
H2O
2018?
No, not that. Halloween H2O was terrible. Like she was in that, but that was bad.
Was that just Halloween sponsored by water? I was really confused by that.
The
Halloween Kills, Halloween Ends, and there was another one.
Yeah, it was Halloween 2018, Halloween Kills, and Halloween Ends.
Yeah.
So, 2018.
And he still doesn't die.
The reboot.
Oh. Yeah.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
I think you should move that series away from Jamie Lee Curtis. I think she's done it. You should stop handcuffing the Halloween series to Jamie Lee Curtis. I think is sort of stuck in a rut that needs to sort of take a fresh approach.
Yeah, but I mean, it's going to get rebooted again at some point because it's such a good concept, and you can redo again, like Art the Clown and Terrifier is rebooting that, and it's not the same at all, but they're doing a thing that we're used to, but with a different character, which is almost better than redoing Halloween 20 fucking times.
Art the Clown was actually in a film before Terrifier as well, which was pretty bad. Yeah, he's in a film previous to Terrifier.
They did a short film. The reason Terrifier got
The
met,
Babysitter or something it's called.
There was another one where the photo of the front cover looks like The Grinch, and it's a horror film like The Grinch, basically, and it's that guy playing it. And the weird thing is, I looked at the guy who plays Art the Clown, and he did like children's TV stuff before.
Of course,
it's like TV.
What happened?
Mutilating people. It's quite a transition.
Entertaining kids and then pulling legs off like chicken wings. Quite a change.
He's in The Ninth Circle, and also the one I was on about is All Hallows Eve, where there's a babysitter, and because people were saying, oh, he's never attacked like a kid, blah, 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 and everyone was like, yeah, watch this. And it's like, oh, no.
I've just looked at him now. David Howard Thornton plays that Art the Clown. He's in, he plays the Joker in a computer game as a voice and stuff like that. And then the other stuff he plays is, I've never even seen this before.
What?
Dora the Explorer.
Alma's Way, whatever the hell that is.
Looks great.
So that's
Dora's nemesis.
I mean, if you think great horror clowns, you would say him, Pennywise, obviously, and what? Captain Spaulding?
Oh, House of a Thousand Corpses.
Yeah.
I'd say the Joker, man. I wonder why you weren't mentioning the Joker.
Yeah.
Bear in mind how many people are scared of clowns. Chlorophobia, by the way, is fear of clowns. It was on a TV show earlier.
That sounds like a fear of soap, but yeah.
Doesn't.
Or chlorine.
Max, what are your thoughts on the Scream franchise and how they were trying to get Neve Campbell back, or would it work without Neve Campbell, like with the new franchise?
Or do you care?
Yeah. Scream is a classic, man. Scream, come on, Scream, Wes Craven, it's a classic.
Scream is just, even 3, I know 3 gets crapped on a lot, but I genuinely like 3.
Yeah, me too, man. Yeah.
It was the only Scream where there was only one killer. That's still something that's not been beaten since, Yeah. But I think it would go on without Neve Campbell. I don't think we need her, and I think 6 sort of pretty much proved that.
Yeah, how good was 6, man?
It was great until the last 15 minutes. Until that, it was perfect. And then after that,
it's the newest one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry.
I just want someone balls to kill General Ortega and something.
Mate, I just loved Scream with a shotgun. I thought it was cool, and the guys said when they wrote it, they were thinking a bit Terminator, and you could imagine Arnold Schwarzenegger going, get away. But obviously it's the Scream character, so it was a bit of a weird...
Max, what didn't you like about the ending of Scream 6?
Oh,
because it's been that
many. Well, the reveal of the ghost faces was... I thought who the killer was after the first 15 minutes of the movie. And I was hoping it wasn't right. I was like, please don't tell me I'm right. And I was right. I was like, and it took away the enjoyment. It was just...
Who was it? It was the cop and the son. Is that right?
Yeah, you think the son
and the daughter.
Yeah, you think the daughter dies, but she doesn't actually die.
But she probably knew that because she died off screen. So sort of was a bit of a hit there. Why?
It's a bit teeny bopper now, isn't it?
People said it got a bit crazy because one of the boyfriend characters gets stabbed more times than one of those kind of pin dolls, and he's still alive.
There was people. Yeah, there was people getting stabbed in the stomach 8 times, and they were going out, and then the next thing they were running perfectly fine.
Yeah.
You're like, how
it was almost like Monty Python. It was like, it's just a scratch. You're like, what are you doing, man? You've been stabbed 20 times.
By the way,
Says-
can I just bring up my favorite death in any horror movie ever? The best death ever.
I thought you were going to say Monty Python's The Black Knight. Your
No,
favorite
honestly,
death.
the greatest death of all time is the most preposterous thing I've ever seen on any movie as well. It's Jason in New York. You know,
Fuck knows what you're on about there.
you
No,
know Jason Voorhees.
no, I know the film. I just
He's in New York, and he's on a roof, right?
He's in New York.
Yeah.
Jason in New York.
Yeah, he's on this roof, right? And there's this guy in a full on
He's
like
fixing the
Olympic
window.
tracksuit, like this dude, like a boxer, an Olympic tracksuit. And bear in mind, Jason never runs, right? So he's like punching him for ages, and he gets really tired. He's like swinging these like really slow punches. At any point, he can just turn and walk away. And Jason does one punch, uppercuts him, and his head goes flying off the building and bounces down like down the awnings and stuff. Just bounces off like his head. One punch.
Like a
It's so
pinball.
stupid. He's
Uppercut.
punching in a mask. He's obviously going to hurt his hands. He's punching a mask.
I mean, if you're talking about stupid things, like just because it's fresh in my head, because I literally watched Terrifier the other day, like it's realistic's the wrong word, but it's stabbing people all the time. And you can see the cuts, and it's quite brutal. But some bits are over the top. But there's a scene where the mum, you know, where the kids, well, she thinks the kids covered the car in like what do you use to shave? Shaving foam.
Shaving foam.
It's a difficult one.
And written bitch on it, and she thinks it's him, and then she wipes it, and Art the Clown's in there, and obviously things are violent, but he's got a pistol, like a little tiny revolver of a tiny little gun, normal gun, shoots her through the car, and her head goes flying over there. I'm like, you put a bullet, you put a tiny hole in your head, you wouldn't, your whole skull wouldn't fall off.
Is it like a mini shotgun?
Yeah, but I mean, it's weird to complain about anything on Terrifier because they're all over the top.
But that's like the Jason one. Like, if you punch one person one time in a plastic mask, you'd be like, ow, I'm not doing that again. But this guy's just going at it for like 2 minutes and then
He's
gets
really
his head
going
punched
for it
off.
too. Get his head roll down and fall into a dustbin, and the lid
It
closed.
does, I think it does, yeah. They get a swish.
Have you seen the fact that Jason, there's this really funny sketch where Jason's looking down at one of those Croc shoes and he's so confused because it's actually his face?
I've seen that. He's holding it like.
Yeah, he's like, is that my face?
What's your thoughts on Freddy versus Jason, the movie? It's the most. It's not. I don't think it's a bad film, to be honest. I think it's not bad, but it's like pitting two immortal beings together. What's the point? What's your thoughts on that?
Stupidest film.
Go for Max first.
I think it's probably the best version of Freddy since the third one, because like you
Yes.
went back to the darker and scarier one after 3. He just became like a cartoon character, just comedy, and there was no scare. It was just more like you're only watching it for one-liners, and I mean, you put sunglasses on in the fourth one. You're like, is this what we're here for? You know.
Can you
So,
remember Wes Craven's New Nightmare? The one that was complete Hollywood. It was called Wes Craven's
yeah.
New Nightmare.
That was a great
I had
one.
that
Yeah,
on
I really
VHS.
enjoyed that.
I had
Yeah,
it
I
on like a block, but you know, the big VHSs you used to buy from the video stores when they didn't want them anymore.
big.
The really big cases, yeah. I had it on that.
Number 6 was a 3D one. You got a 3D glasses with the VHS. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
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 Because you're right. Because Nightmare 1 was great. Nightmare 2 was great. Nightmare 3 was Dream Warriors, and that was so much fun, but a little bit off kilter. But then 4 to 6 were just pointless, and then 7 was a New Nightmare, and that was really good because it was in the real world, wasn't it? It had the real actors playing themselves, and then actual Freddy came into the actual actors.
Oh
I
yeah,
don't know
it
if
did
you-
have Wes Craven playing himself, didn't it? Not Wes
Yeah,
Craven.
because-
Who's the guy that plays Robert Englund?
Robert Englund. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it became meta in a way.
Yeah, so it's the actor. So Drew, yeah, it's the actors from the film. So Robert Englund, who plays Freddy, he's in it as a human, a normal human, just pottering around, being a guy, and Freddy terrorizes all of them in real life.
The only thing you thought actually Freddy, like, well, sorry, I can't even speak. No, yeah. in that movie, it wasn't
Moonshine, a bit of moonshine.
yeah, he wasn't actually Freddy. They said he was actually just like a demon or an entity just taking the form as Freddy. So
Ah,
that's why he didn't say
but
like from 3 to the Freddy versus Jason but still I actually forgot about that one. But he was pretty
it's,
awesome in that one.
it's such a clever idea. That's quite unique back then. Like they do it all the time, going meta now, but that was a trailblazer technically. It's 1994. Fuck.
Yeah,
Wow.
it's hard for anyone to be
Wow.
unique now, though, isn't it? It's like very difficult, which is why I'll bring up another film that's coming out this year, which I think is the first unique horror for a long time. It's called Inner.
Yes.
I brought it up before on the pod. It's called Inner Violent Nature,
Yeah, man.
and it basically
Yeah.
follows. I think it's almost like a third person. You know, you play like Grand Theft Auto, like Call of Duty, and the person's in front of you and you're following around. I think it's a third person perspective from the killer. Yeah, that. The trailer
Boom.
gives nothing away. It literally just pans over his shoulders. That's it. That's the whole trailer. It shows like a
Oh.
lake with some reviews and then just shows the back of a bloke. Like, that's it. It's amazing.
That's all
You've
you
seen that
need.
trailer?
That's
Yeah,
an
I
intriguing
have.
trailer for me. Not like you see half the movie in 3.5 minutes. It's like brilliant.
Yeah. Well, you know
Right.
when you Max, when you were saying about it's scary when you see characters that you don't know the reasons behind what they do. Have
Yeah.
you seen the film Hush, where the main protagonist is deaf, and
Yeah.
you've just got that really creepy guy turns up to the house?
Yeah,
What were your
I
thoughts on
thought
that
it was
film?
brilliant. Yeah, I thought it was great. Yeah, again, like the mystery, and it was unique as well. Like, there's not many movies like that, that because that silence and a lot of movies today are because they're so generic. They depend on loud music and jump scares, and also it's cool when you have that
Yeah,
a unique take. It's different, and that's why it's good. It's because it's different.
because
And
I felt it was more. You felt more for her because she's so vulnerable. Because we're thinking she can't hear all of his certain, all the plans he has, all the ways he's trying to get into the house. She can't hear any of those things, and then he
I
starts
didn't
to,
realize what film you're on about.
yeah,
Oh fuck, that was good. Yeah.
and then he starts to actually manipulate her on purpose. And then he's like, "Oh, she's not scared or freaked out by the things I'm doing, so I'll just write on the window.
He's
Or I'll
messing with
take a
her, isn't
picture.
he?
I'll take a picture of her. I'll go in the house, take a picture of her, and then send it to the computer she's on. Because it's just then he starts messing with her.
It's like Strangers. Have you seen the original Strangers?
Is that the
And
one
he
with
That one,
the
no?
young lad all wearing white?
No, Stranger. Is it? Have I got the right name? Yeah.
it is. Yeah, strangers. They're all wearing weird masks, weird white masks.
Yeah, I mean, you can't see it, but in the background,
There's 3 of them.
there's that creepy mask guy.
Yeah,
That's so good because it's like a home invasion, but we don't know. They don't know they're being invaded for like an hour and a half.
but we do.
We do, but there's a new one coming out, and it looks a bit too generic. It looks a bit rubbish.
Yeah,
The trailer looks. Have you seen it? It's
mate.
Yeah.
The first one with Liv Tyler
such a good film.
was
Don't
well scary.
don't do it again. Just leave it as a perfect film. It was such a good film.
Yeah, just a
Do you know
one
what
and
is a
done.
good home invasion film that is a real twist? Is what's the? Oh, do you know what? I can't remember what it's called for the life of me. These
There's an
kids.
Avengers one I saw not long ago about called Frogman or something.
No,
Do you know
there's
one?
one where. What's the one where the kids rob the guy, but he's blind, and he ends up sort of turning, and he's like coming
Don't
after them.
breathe.
Don't breathe.
He's a Don't breathe. Yeah,
Haven't
Brilliant
seen the
movie.
sequel, but that's
It's
a
on
very
Netflix.
clever
Both
movie.
of the Don't Breathes are brilliant, and that is the guy that's directing the new Aliens film that I've been waiting for.
I
Alien.
wonder if they'll go
Romulus.
horror or more Prometheus style with that.
no, it's going
hoping-
full horror.
I'm hoping horror. Yeah.
Because the
I'm
first
hoping
horror.
Alien is horror, isn't it? And suspense, whereas Prometheus is more
This is
borderline
going.
action.
This is going Aliens on steroids.
Yeah, mate. The fact that you've got the
Rock's
you got the
playing
face
Alien.
huggers chasing them down the spaceship, like they're running after them. It is
I
brilliant.
remember playing the game on the Sega Saturn, Alien Trilogy it was called, and you'd be just like walking around, all of a sudden it'd be like on the screen, all you'd see is like this stupid face hugger. You couldn't do anything about it. It was like, oh god damn it, just trying to play
You
this
just press
stupid
left and
game.
right to try and shake it off.
That must have been like 1995, 96 on the Sega Saturn. Greatest console of all time.
But yeah, the new Aliens film, it looks unfucking real, unreal. I'm excited for. Who's the director again? Because it's someone we've watched recently as well.
Not Ridley Scott.
No.
No.
It's the guy that did Don't Breathe. It's like
what-
on Angelo.
Romulus.
So
Yeah.
M. Night
It is.
Shyamalan.
Fedra Albaz.
See, I knew there was an A in there.
Oh yeah, it does do Don't Breathe. Well done,
It's M.
Drew.
Night Shyamalan. At the end, the alien turns out just to be someone dressed up.
Oh god, he did things like Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the new one.
Is that where she drives off in an electric car, and the car drives really slow, so the girl gets pulled out and gets her head cut off because the car's
that's
on
awkward,
autopilot? It's like a really bad advert for electric cars.
I've just seen in the new Alien film, you've got Kaylee Spenny in it. She's fantastic. She's that's Priscilla.
They're
When was
saying
that
she's
taken?
playing the kind of
1923?
Ripley character.
What? I'm sure there's something more about this new film. Who
I
else
really
is it?
hope there's no one really famous in it.
No, but that's what I love, mate. It actually seems like they're using loads of unknowners to make it a bit eerier for
They're
us.
the
So
best films.
There's
I like
no
that,
one.
yeah.
Really.
Yeah, if you want a good
do you know
horror,
what I
you
mean?
want
It makes
no
it
one you
eerie
know.
for
You
us
don't want
because
Tom
then
Hardy
it's a
coming out.
spaceship floating through space with all these colonists, and we don't know who they are. And I think as soon as you've got big names, that's why Prometheus was a bit weird. You've got all these massive movie stars on a spaceship running away from aliens. You're like, it's
You
a
don't
movie.
want it in a horror. Like, you don't want
Movie in a
Tom Hardy
robot.
coming out and giving a stone cold stunner to a serial killer. It's just like, just leave it out. Find some bloke from the pub to do it.
James,
Yeah.
did you end credits of Terrifier 2 when Chris Jericho popped up?
No, that's really. I've watched that film like 4 times. I've never seen that.
It's like a 1 minute credits, and then there's an end post credits, and it's the most important. It's one of the most graphic scenes.
Has he got him in the
Why are
walls
they
of
going to
Jericho?
marvel on that Terrifier?
It's Chris Jericho in a mental asylum, and they've got a mental patient, and it's the girl from the first film that gets her face ripped off, and she's still got like an eyeball, and she's in the room, and she gives birth to Art the clown's head.
Yeah, I've seen that, but I don't recall it being Chris Jericho.
Chris Jericho's the nurse.
That's hilarious.
Max,
He's in it for like a minute.
what horror films are you looking forward to, man?
What is coming?
There is one coming up. It's called Sting. If anyone's heard of it.
Oh yeah,
Spiders.
Yeah.
I started watching that last night. It's fresh.
No, you didn't. No, you didn't. The new one, Sting. Not Emmanuel Bonamy.
What was I watching?
that's Infested.
Oh, Infested. I started watching. Sorry, a French one.
Do you think the Sting one looks good? I'm a bit like that. I don't know.
It looked different. Put it that way. Different. It's like a spider and it grows big. Like we haven't really seen anything like that since what, Eight-Legged Freaks, like giant spider on the rampage. So it should be interesting. I'm fascinated just to see. I'm not sure when it comes out though, but I am definitely gonna be there day one.
Can you remember Arachnophobia back in the day?
Yeah.
Let's not go through it again.
That film was terrifying because they were just little house spiders. Like,
Yeah,
honestly,
but-
after I watched that, I checked under the toilet seat for about 3 months before I went to the toilet.
Yeah.
I think I was
still
probably
do it
10 when that came out.
Mate, what about the bit where the woman's like on the sofa and you think she's just falling asleep or whatever, and a spider just runs out of her, and you're like, oh.
Well, it's the spider that goes into the slipper at the bottom of the bed. That freaked me out. But
Also-
it's the reason I've never been to Australia. That and not having money, but not going to Australia because there's too
If we
many
were going to
facts.
hazard a guess, when did that film come out? Because I'm way off with my guess.
90s.
1992.
Ooh. 92.
Nope. Max,
Don't say
hazard a
89.
guess.
Don't say 88.
Arachnophobia. 1990.
Ooh.
Oh.
3 years before Jurassic Park.
Maybe.
The intro,
Wow.
the
Yeah,
intro's
definitely
amazing
shouldn't
because
have been watching that.
that bird picks up the massive spider and it kills the bird, doesn't it?
By the way, the cast of that film: Jeff Daniels, John Goodman.
Yeah.
I haven't
John
seen
Goodman
it.
is the Terminator guy.
Love that guy.
Well, doesn't he use a staple gun at the end? He's got a staple gun or it's a
I
flamethrower.
think
Nailed
sounds
it.
familiar.
Could be,
I
yeah.
watched that film when I was like 10 years old, and I haven't watched it again since. To
Yeah,
sketch me
it
out.
scared the absolute shit out of me, man, that film.
Right. Here's a question, right? So
Person in the bath at the end with the bloody straw.
So like I told you, Max, we deviate quite a bit. We don't stick on a subject very long.
Oh.
But
Suits me.
I would say one of the best horror films ever.
Ooh, bold statement.
Oh, 100%. 100%. It's in
Toy
the top
Story 2?
5 of the greatest horror films ever. Did you say Toy Story 2?
It's terrifying. If your toys came alive, you'd shit
Yeah,
yourself.
it's really scary.
Actually, imagine Toy Story, a horror film.
As a horror, it'd be hilarious. Toys start killing
But guys,
everyone.
that's what Imaginarium is.
Isn't
Small
fuck off.
soldiers.
It's imaginary, not imaginarium. Stop making words up. Prick.
Okay.
Fucking prick. Sorry.
Kev was saying he was trying not to be so angry towards me, but clearly
You just really fuck me off sometimes. By not knowing words correctly. Imaginarium, it's not a word.
Good to know therapy's working hard.
Fucking hell. Right, okay, so one of the best films ever is clearly The Exorcist. Have you seen a new film? The
Yeah.
Exorcist Believer. That's I think some hot takes. Some people love it, people hate it. What's your thoughts?
There was some good ideas on paper, but executed really badly, I think. And then pointlessly bringing back Reagan's mom, and then fine, and then she gets stabbed in the eyes, and then that's it, bro. So what was the point in having her back? It's
I think they wanted that connection to the original film for people to realize it's a true sequel, not just a made-up sequel. But I agree. There was lots of great moments, but it didn't worry me at any point. Whereas the original Exorcist will give you fucking nightmares.
it was odd. The original is just iconic, dude. Oh.
Yeah. What? Okay. What age were you when you first saw The Exorcist? Ignore him.
James just fell over.
He's got a gimbal. He's got a gimbal that holds his phone every now and again. His battery runs out.
No, I got rid of that. Now I've got a coffee cup holding my phone up. Like, I can show you if you want. Look, this is my setup.
So the coffee cup just did like
This is the coffee cup, and this is...
Is that an elastic band around it?
Yeah, and this is a box for a VR headset, a drone box, another VR headset, and a light.
Guys,
So,
please follow Rage Whale so we can get some money for funding. So that
we're going to start a
Make Chris
GoFundMe at the end of
video.
this, and because this is the most ridiculous setup ever.
Yeah, we need to fund you for just getting you a pair of boxers. Stop showing us your nuts.
Oh yeah, Matt, I don't wear trousers on the podcast.
Balls of steel.
It's too hot in the room with all the
Oh,
lights on and stuff, so I just don't have I wear shorts now at least, not like the time I just wear my pants and the phone fell off.
That's good.
Anyway, Max was about to tell me how old he was when he first saw The Exorcist.
Yeah.
Enough of your polls.
Holes and underwear and nuts. Am I in the right video?
Yeah, we're talking about horror films.
But
That
I
is a
think
true horror.
everyone- That is horrifying. Yes.
Holy crop, Batman! Oh no! We're out of time on this episode. So join us for the rest of our chat tomorrow on Rage Whale.